Welcome back. Let's come in, shall we? Ba, 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 ba. Let's do this. Alright, this dungeon is one of my favorites because all you have to do is just tank swap. Tank all this shit. Ba, 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 da, 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 ba. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba. All right. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ba, ba, ba. All right. I love big pulls. And this is the final one. Ow, that hurt. Okay, I'm going to do this. Ba, ba, Oh, hello there. Please don't die. Okay, thank God. We fall. We fall. We fall. We fall. We fall. We fall.
What took you so long? The Amalta are in trouble. Let's split up.
All right. Grab aggro. There we go. Hey, it's American Lucia. What's up, girl? Bum, 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 ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Oh, no, you don't. I don't need that personally. Yeah, not. Oh.
We fall. We fall. We fall. This is what, 60-second cooldown. I can use that. Alright, I think this is it. Alright, time for the last big tank pull. Yeah. Alright, come on. Okay, come on. And time to kick Bahamut's ass. Yep, Lunar Bahamut. I mean, da 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 da. Ba 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 da 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 da ba ba da da ba 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 ba. Oh fuck, I lost that combo. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god damn it. Well. Can we survive? I think so. Oh wait, we have a summoner. We have a summoner! Hey, let's go. Let's go, boys. Alright. Oh boy. Okay. Oh god. Oh lord. I'm going to die. Yep. Alright. It's okay. Alright, that is a closed deal. Alright, let's proceed, shall we?
Antal an in Eisdorf. Antal afa snalask I ash an dran mira
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well. Long have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice. The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust. It is the Guardians who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause, till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
What in Ralga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
Get back!
No! What have I done?
It's too late for them! We're leaving, now!
No! No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together!
To see the Amaja fighting alongside us brought to mind the Zune of the Quisterium. I pray that our peoples can forge bonds as strong as those of our counterparts in the first. From what I could tell, there didn't seem to be many Imperials in the vicinity of the tower. Hopefully, our revolt will have used the opportunity to get in and out undetected. Tiamat did all she promised and more this day, but I doubt she will be satisfied. Nay, she will fight on in defense of her children, wheresoever they may be. It will take more than a single victory to wash away all the bad blood between men and Amaja, and one has to start somewhere. Though the day is won, thanks in no small part to thy valor, and the Talaforai are far from defeat. Yet be that as it may, 'tis only right that we rejoice in Luna Brahma's banishment unto the ether. While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Findaniel, we have dealt his schemes a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. And celebrate I will, when we have received word of Arival's safe return. Yuma did all she promised and more that anything new, though this day is one, thanks to no son that okay. So everything is fine. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters come. We must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave scions! Speaking of the devil, and she shall appear. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the Prostnitistry. Your Grace, whatever is the matter? As your troops withdrew from Pagathlon, they came upon the two scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded and has been dragged away by the other. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, Your Grace. Can you tell us aught of Arvald's condition, Your Grace? The wounded scout. Not save that it is grave. The Cherugians attend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Akira is seen. Would you mind going after Alphino? He may need some support. Sorry about that. Support from someone other than me. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Paglathon. Come on, then. The hustling strips. Hey, let's go. Let's get teleported to the... let's see, Alchemist Guild. I take it Alphino is fond of Arvald. I know how he feels, but hand-wringing isn't going to help anyone. You had better have a word. Instead of standing there gawping, why don't you tell your friend to stop whining like a underfed dog? People are fighting for their lives in there. Please tell me something, anything. Another one came to see the lad in silver armor. Master Damiliat is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind to wait. What did Master Damiliat say? Tell me his exact words. Enough, Afno. That this isn't helping. Let the Chiturians do their work. But you're right. Forgive me. When we said our farewells to Arvald, I was afraid that something like this might happen. But none. Now that it has, all we can do is wait.
Fordola, Have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot will be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
Ba, ba, ba. Yes, talk to his city, in fact. Oh, well, whatever. I know. There is nothing more that I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? We will.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital. Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns. Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities. For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak. Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
I miss that this great push for peace with the beast tribes. We would do well to remember the old prejudices yet remain. It is delicate political dance, and I do not envy the Sultana her task, not any alliance leader. If there is no reason to linger, I will take my leave. Afna knows only too well that sacrifices are an unavoidable part of conflict. But knowing something does not change how one feels about it. You yourself have shared adventures with Arivald, have you not? Then I shall say no more. With the secrets of the tower thus laid bare, our duty to prevent further abductions taketh on new import. Fall in this, and our enemy shall punish our negligence with a plague of primals. Even without the threat of tampering to contend with, the grand companies have quite a task on their hands. Regardless of her grace's protestations to the contrary, it may be best to dispatch a few of our own to assist in the endeavor. Remind me to mention it to Tataru, would you? Though we have won our first battle against the Telephori and made significant discoveries to boot, the war has scarcely begun. We must steel ourselves for what lies ahead. Right then, unless anyone has no objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. And that includes you, Afno. Arivald is in good hands here. Of course. He would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength in readiness for the coming challenges. If all are in agreement, then I shall let Cryle know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Slap him! Slap him to death! You can do it. Yes, I'll try asking him, and thank you. I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kyle in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estienne. Believe it or not, you will join us, won't you? Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Delcian woman. If I refused, she would only pursue me. Let's get this over with, shall we? Ba, 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 ba.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time. Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
"'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within their archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery."
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing, a topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly? When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the First, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in her judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, The Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again, will you join us?
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Does this one meet with your approval? Apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Well, well, not quite what I was expecting. Though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Amidst all the fighting, it's easy to forget what we've achieved, isn't it? I mean, we cured Tiamat. Tiamat, for heaven's sake, you will tell me if I become insufferably smug, won't you? Because the way things are going, it feels like a definite possibility. None can deny that that Highland's blessing has been a great boon to our cause, but much remains unknown with regard to her true intentions. Given everything we have learned from our encounter with the Ascians, we must keep our minds open to any and all possibilities. Shit. The sudden appearance of the towers will surely not have escaped the forum's notice. I would like to think they would be receptive to Cryo's request for cooperation in investigating the matter, but unfortunately their reputation would suggest otherwise. It strikes me as odd that rather than marching on one of the sea states, the Talaforai have so far made only sporadic attacks. I doubt they'd go to the trouble of putting up all of those towers if that was all they had in store for us. If I am to pursue this course, I must be prepared for the hardships that lie ahead. If you've need of my lance, I'll be ready. If not, I'll be reserving my strength in preparation of the next battle. But since you're here, I have a question. The Scions are in close contact with the All East Alderneld Trading Company of Kugana, yes? I was wondering if they could place an order for some sun-dried squid. I don't seem to be able to find it in these parts. Though we know not the full extent of the Telephori's schemes, preventing further abductions must take precedence above all else. For therein lieth the key to depriving our enemy of its most potent weapon. I've been keeping me eye on the towers and telling others to do the same. Of course, I don't mean just us scions. I've got a whole network of scouts to keep me informed. Alce has been teaching me how to cure tempering with using a proxy. I must say, the thought of being in such close proximity to one of the afflicted is rather daunting. We've sent Coronet and the others to be eyes and ears on the field, wherever the Terpori appear next. We'll be among the first to know. When the towers rose in Yansha, my first thought was to stay in Doma to keep my grandfather safe, but when we heard the news of Bahamut's return, he bid me return to the Rising Suns to aid my fellow scions. He sends his regards, by the way. Alright, I don't want to talk to anyone else. Anyways. This concludes this episode of Final Fantasy XIV. 5.5. We shall continue doing the last 24-man raid and the last Ultima weapon thingy. Till then, fare thee well.